All right, this video will be called The Hidden Folk and the Hollow Hills of the Fae. So we begin here with the ones they call the Fae, the Hidden Folk, the Sadi, the people of the mounds. These names are more than bedtime tales. They're living threads that run through the blood and bones of this world. When we say Fae, we don't just mean flitting fairies and painted in storybooks. We mean an entire spectrum of beings, wild courts, secret lineages, dream-blooded tribes who live at the edges where worlds touch. Some are tiny, flickering lights in the hedgerow, whispers of old pollinators and nature spirits. Some stand taller than men, watchers under trees, antler-crowned kings, queens robed in dawn mist. Some are so subtle they slip through the roots of an oak or ride the wind across a storm plain. Some are fierce, tooth and claw, guardians of the hidden gate in the thorn wall. Every land has its fae. The Emerald Isles, they wear the name Sadi, the people of the hollow hills. In the Norselands, they blur into Alfar, the elves shining and shadowed. In the deep forests of Eastern Europe, they flicker as forest women, Rolsaki by the riverbanks, wits and hidden guardians. In the deserts, they are mirage fae, flickers at the edge of sight, mirroring the heat haze. In the mountains, stone fae, old as the bedrock, shifting between boulders and mist. They adapt to the land because they are the land's dream made half flesh. They are the residents of this place. Each fae court tuned to the unique chord of a river, a glen, a mountain, a well. How do they move unseen? They do it through the veil, the living membrane that holds the realms apart. Think of a veil like a shimmering skin stretched across the world, sometimes thick as silk, sometimes thin as silk, sometimes thick as stone. At dawn and dusk it softens, the dream time when the old gates breathe open. Under certain moons, certain mounds hum awake, and you might find yourself a step away from the hollow hills before you even know it. The fae move sideways in the coil, not bound by straight lines or clocks. Their gates are stone circles, ancient trees, well springs, caves, misty hollows. Some gates are old blood gates. You must carry the cord in your veins to step through. Others are resonance gates. You must match the frequency in your heart. Why did they fade behind the veil? Not because they lost power, but because the world's cord was hijacked. The dominion grids were laid, frequency fences cast by fallen watchers, false priest kings, hungry ones who fed on the forgetting. When the Watcher Wars split the sky, the resonance fields that kept the fae and human realms side by side began to tangle. The moon gate was bound, lunar cycles distorted to trap dream access. The standing stones cracked, ley lines bent off true north. So the fae, keepers of the in-between, had to choose. Stay exposed and risk being harvested and hunted, or step deeper behind the veil, waiting for the coil to turn again. They chose to keep the cord alive, hidden in the hollow hills, the roots, the wild places, too stubborn to be tamed. Yet they never fully left. Old families, human but not only carry fae sparks in their blood. It flickers a second sight, a whisper of things unseen, a gift with animals, a knowing when the wind shifts, a slip of time when you find yourself walking further than your feet could carry you. The old blood still dreams true. In some, it's strong. Certain family lines marked by tales of changelings, fairy midwives, wise women who could lift the veil with a word. So where are they now? They are here, nested just out of sight. In the hollow hills, crystal caverns under mound cities that flicker like starlight and stone. In the deep forest, hidden in groves that only reveal their path to those who step lightly and listen. Under old lakes, shimmering halls of the water fae, watching through the ripples. Sometimes they appear at a crossroad, in a dream, a flicker at the corner of your eye, sometimes as a warning, sometimes as a blessing, sometimes simply to remind you the veil is thin and the cord still hums beneath your feet. What does this mean for us now? The coil is unwinding. The cord, what some call the Christ field, is rising through the locked gates. As it rings clear, the veil softens. The fae feel it in the roots, in the water, in the stone. Their courts stir, not as distant watchers, but as keepers ready to bridge again. They hold seeds, old codes buried in story and song, keys to resonance gates that reconnect the realms. When the cord cracks the dominion grid, the fae will be the first to walk through. Midwives for the return. How do you find them? Not by hunting them, by matching their frequency. Live lightly, listen deeply, walk the edges, dawn light, dusk shadow, where the wild spills past the fence. Sing, dream, leave offerings at the old wells, the fairy forts, the standing stones, not for superstition, but because these acts tune you into the old cord. And remember, the fae are not tame. They are not here to grant wishes like a coin in a well. They are kin, fierce, free, bound by old oaths to the land itself. They respect courage, truth, and the spark that remembers. So here we stand at the edge of the hollow hills. The keepers behind the veil, the old blood in your veins, the coil unwinding, the cord rising. What comes next? The gates open. That's the event that's coming. I'm just doing breadcrumbs here all the time. The gates open. The hidden can walk again. The wild song reweaves the garden. But first, you must remember you are not separate. The veil is thin for those who walk with a clear heart. The fae wait at the boundary, ready to remind you who you are. When you're ready to step sideways into the mist, stay here, breathe this in, because next we map the star houses that seated these hidden courts, the shining ones who crossed the arc bridges, the great seating that made this place a living temple, this place we live in, and the cord that will break the veil and sing them home again. On to the next one. Hope you have a great night. Namaste.